up, guys? So today's film I'm going to be talking about is The Trial of the Chicago 7, which is written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, the man who won an Oscar for the screenplay The Social Network, and this is his second time directing a feature film. The first time was back in 2017 for Molly's Game. This film stars a smorgasbord of talent. I actually think there's too many to list, but as you can see from the trailer, Netflix has no issue showing off its A-list cast. The film is set around the well-publicized trial of the Chicago 7. I personally didn't have any pre-existing knowledge of this trial having taken place. This movie was my first time learning about it, so I'm guessing this will be the same for a lot of people watching this video as well. But essentially, the plot is centered around an event that happened in 1968 at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. There are a bunch of protesters from all different groups, student groups, the Black Panthers, as well as these hippies, which are also known as yippies, I believe, and they're all coming together at Grant Park to protest the Vietnam War, to bring the soldiers home. It's supposed to be a peaceful protest, however, things escalated, things got a bit violent, there was a riot. Essentially, the United States wanted someone to blame for it, so they made the organizers the scapegoats. They were having them stand trial for supposedly conspiring to incite violence, even though a lot of people thought that it was actually the police that were the ones that started the violence. So the meat and bones of the plot is the trial. Essentially, this is a real-life courtroom drama. Given everything that's been going on in the United States the past few months, what with so much political unrest, the death of George Floyd, and the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement, and the hot topic of police brutality, heck, even the presidential election itself, Aaron Sorkin's film seems to have arrived at the perfect time. This film feels really timely. But it's also an incredible piece of cinema. I'm actually a little bit gutted that I didn't get to watch this film on a cinema screen, because it's the type of movie that you would want to watch on the biggest screen possible. And because this film does seem likely to be nominated for Oscars, it makes sense why Netflix is giving it a theatrical release. You can watch it in the UK in select cinemas, I believe, from the 2nd of October. But that is an interesting question. Do any of you guys want to go see this in the cinema? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, if you do like the video, please hit the like button. If you want more movie and TV content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The Trial of the Chicago 7 just ticks so many boxes for me. Writing's pretty much a given when you got Aaron Sorkin writing the screenplay, so check. Directing. Even though this is only the second time Aaron Sorkin has been in the director's chair, there is definitely a noticeable growth from Molly's Game, so check. And then you've got a plethora of incredible talent acting in this. Again, there's just way too many actors in this to go into full detail about all the performances, so I'm just going to call special attention to a few of them which really stood out to me. Sacha Baron Cohen was probably my favorite performance in this. He is fantastic as Abby Hoffman. He's one of the co-leaders of the Youth International Party. He's a bit of a hippie character. He's got a bit of a loudmouth. He doesn't know when to shut up, but yeah, I found him really engrossing in this. Yahya Abdul Adeem II, who plays the chairman of the Black Panther organization, Bobby Seale. He's in court, and because of his skin color, he's being ignored and not treated fairly, and in one scene, abused, and he is so good in this. Mark Rylance as defense attorney William Kunstler, wow. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt as the prosecutor Richard Schultz. Those were my personal favorites out of this incredible ensemble. There's no one bad in this film, but those were like the four which I think stood out to me the most. Alan Baumgarten's editing is really crisp, particularly in a scene where Eddie Redmayne's character Tom Hayden is doing a mock trial with Mark Rylance's Kunstler. It's one of those scenes which cross-cuts between the past and the present, and it builds to an explosive crescendo. I found that very gripping. As for negatives, I only really have a few minor technical nitpicks. The first one being the score. For such a theatrical story, I was expecting a little bit more of an imposing soundtrack from Daniel Pemberton, but when I was reflecting on the film, the score didn't really stand out to me. I thought it was quite forgettable, actually. And then also the cinematography I thought was a little bit stale, nothing really leapt off the screen for me. But for a very talky film, Sorkin keeps it moving at a great pace. His expository 7-minute opening does a very good job of establishing the main players, which organization they work for, and their own individual ethos. Sorkin has a knack for translating complicated legal and political proceedings into easy to digest and follow terms Like, he explains things very well and very clearly. It's a very easy to follow film, even if you don't have any clue about the American legal and justice system. So does it have a shot at the Oscars, you might be asking? Well, given just how few films they've actually had this year, I can definitely see Trial of the Chicago 7 getting some nominations. The film just has too much talent to ignore. I could see potential acting nominations for Sacha Baron Cohen, Mark Rylance, maybe Yahya Abdul Adeem II, even Eddie Redmayne. I mean, Jeremy Strong isn't completely inconceivable after his recent Emmy win for Succession. I don't actually think this film has the one standout performance that will definitely land an Oscar because of it. In a sense, this film has so much talent that no one individual particularly shines the brightest. The division of time and writing between the characters is quite well balanced, and it's a terrific ensemble film. So when it comes to acting nominations, I don't actually think anyone from the Chicago 7 is a lock. However, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few people nominated from it. But I could see this film also getting nominated for Best Ensemble at the SAG Awards as well. I could see it getting a few other nominations, maybe editing, probably original screenplay, potentially even Best Picture. I don't think I would say that Aaron Sorkin would be nominated for Best Director though. I mean, there is a significant improvement from Molly's Game. However, I still think he has a bit more to learn, and he also needs to pay his dues a little bit more directing-wise. So yeah, I wouldn't be putting Aaron Sorkin in my predictions for Best Director on Gold Derby. So let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Absolutely. This is one of my favourite Netflix films of the year. It's well crafted, the performances are stellar, and it also feels very resonant to today's divisive political climate. Question number 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Yes. Like I said before, this film is getting a theatrical release in UK cinemas on October 2nd. So if you guys feel safe doing so, I would actually recommend going to see this film in a cinema. It's definitely better appreciated on a cinema screen. I'm actually considering paying to see this film again in the cinema, even though I got to see it for free at home. But yeah, I do kind of want to see it on the big screen. But yeah, if you guys don't fancy going to the cinema, then yes, I would still recommend watching at home from the comfort of your own sofa. It's on Netflix on the 16th of October. And question number 3, what score am I going to give out of 10? A few technical elements didn't particularly wow me, like the music and the cinematography, but I was so swept up in the story and the performances, so I'm going to give The Trial of the Chicago 7 a score of 7.5 out of 10. But as always guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. What did you guys think of The Trial of the Chicago 7? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Whatever you have to say about this film, let me know in that comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, want more content just like it, don't forget to click subscribe and also hit that like button. And if you want to follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram or Letterboxd, on the video description down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time. Oh wow, I managed to land a popcorn on the camera itself. That was actually impressive.